Hello Internet. It's been a while since I did one of these, mostly because I moved stuff around in my room and had to find something to get my lighting setup working again. Thus, right above there is a shower curtain rod holding on my lights right now. But we're back today to take a look at the S.H.Figuarts Renewal Kamen Rider Agito ground form. This here is Agito, who I will point out is the main writer of my favorite Kamen Rider show, so I'm probably kind of biased here. Though he's not my favorite writer. My favorite writer is G3X, who's also from that show, but they're not doing a revival of him. Yet. Here's hoping. Anyway, this is a very nice representation of Agito. Again, it's a step up over the original S.H.Figuarts from, to be fair, 8 years ago, and we will compare them later. But he's got everything that the Kuga had over the original Figuarts Kuga. Better proportions, better posability, better detail. In some cases I'm just floored by what they did. The colors are a bit nicer. And he's a little bit taller. Unfortunately, he's also about twice the price, but that's just the way economics works. One of the things to start off with detail, one of the things I want to highlight, and this I was amazed they did this, is I'm hoping it shows up in here, but there's little bits of sculpted detail inside this that's actually there on the suit in the show. But the original Agito figure just had it as a straight black piece. And when I saw that, I was like blown away, basically. As for what this is, I can't actually tell you, but it's a sculpted design on the suit. Probably something to do with the various, if you've seen the show, the various, like, paintings and murals and stuff that were in it. You've also, of course, got the compound eyes, which are, always beautiful. As far as I know, they've never stopped doing that. Painted, gold and silver on here. And it'll go through to the back side. It looks very nice. Very, very crisp. Same with the waist. You got the muscular detail. There is sculpted detail inside the belt under a clear piece, as well as the side panels, which is very nice. And then the back. Also boot detail. I'm always impressed when they do that, because most people are not going to see this. Though, I guess when they do kick poses. Or when you pose them as kick poses. In kick poses. It's been a long day. Like I said, it's like great detail on the thing. Gold paint, silver paint all over. The black is a nice matte black, which I like very much. So, moving on to posability, he's pretty much got what the Kuga had. The head's on the double ball joint. Does all this. It's got the neck cuff to, hide everything. Shoulders, you can do whatever you want, basically. Like, you can go out that far. You can go all the way around. You got the one ball joint in here. Another ball joint right here. Biceps. Double joint elbows. If it's a real person, I'd be breaking his arm right now in like 5 or 10 different places. You got a wrist cuff swivel, which is nice, and it's not even really necessary, but it's always interesting to see. Of course, I'm not actually sure where it's supposed to go. And then the wrist is the standard hinge double ball joint. I should mention the shoulder pads are much like the Kuga. Is that gonna, so we can get that to show up. Yeah, where there's like a hinge and then it's on a ball joint too, so you can get out of the way if you need to. Though this one, the right shoulders on mine, the ball joint part kind of tends to snap into certain positions. That's probably just, a quirk of my particular figure. Anyway, waist, you can go forward, back, rotate, rotate down here. There's no segmented armor piece, but I don't think Agito's design kind of lends itself to that. Hips go out like this, so no full splits, but it's as much as you can do in that suit. And again, it's the hinges down here, so there's nothing on the side, which is very nice. Knees can do that. And then the ankles, side, side, back, back, ball joint rotation, toe for doing stupid balancing pictures. And by stupid, I mean amazing, because I can't do that kind of stuff. Yeah, so far, like I said, as posable as he needs to be. Moving on to accessories. The first release of the Figuarts Agito kind of notoriously only had a pair of fist hands and a pair of really kind of angry, grrr hands, which, if you've seen Agito, does not fit Shoichi at all. This one has fixed that injustice by including, well, the ones we're showing off first are a pair of kind of calm, meditative breathing hands. I'll just kind of do one and the other. He also comes with a pair of fists, which are actually, the default as Figuarts go, so he can punch a dude. And by dude, I mean a lord. He's got... they're a different set of calm hands. Like, not the... not the breathing ones, but... like... I don't know how to describe it. Basically, they are kind of specifically... like, for his transformation. They're less open than the others. There we go. So, kind of. I guess I would call these more the light breathing, meditative breathing hands. But they're nice. And then finally, there is a pair of kind of splayed, flat-palmed hands. And these are for having him hit the side of his belt to transform into flame and storm modes. Not that there are Figuart revival versions of those yet. In addition to hands, he has, yes, an alternate head. The original figure, this is his I'm about to kick a lord and kill it head, where these little bits come out. The original Figuarts, it was just the front of the face that popped off, so having a full head is much nicer. Compare him to the normal Agito. And this is what I mean about the shoulder, kind of just a little stiff on mine, but like I said, I think that's my particular figure. Anyway, here is the normal... I shouldn't say normal, I should say the old Agito. As you can see, the new one's a bit taller. The general body proportion's a bit better. And one thing I really tend to notice is the head crest. This one just seems a bit thick compared to this one, which is sculpted a bit more nicely. Again, much more detail in this one. This is just black. There's less sculpting in the belt. There's no, clear bits on the sides. It's just, straight silver. The gold's a little different, but not as noticeable as the Kugas were to me. And just, overall, like I said, overall this is much better figure, but this is 8 years old and costs half the price of this one, so, we'll give it a pass. One thing also, this has the die-cast feet. Anyway, for my usual ruler height comparisons, you're going to get about like 5 and 3/4 inches at the top of the head, and 6-ish with the horns, depending. Like, these are always tricky because the angle I'm looking at, like angle the camera's looking at, it's a bit different, but around that. And this one's just, like a couple, like a half an inch shorter. Whoopsie. Anyway, two last comparisons. You go there. I am fortunate enough to own the Figuarts Machine Tornado. So here he is next to it. Just kind of like loosely put. I'm not going to bother completely posing him. He feels a little big for it, at least in the bike mode. It's not a huge deal, and honestly, the general Figuarts honestly felt a little big too. But I'll live with it because this is my favorite rider bike right here. As you know, the Machine Tornado transforms, so once you do this, he fits on it just fine. Actually, one thing I like doing with these flat hands, I'm just going to do this kind of barebacked now because normally there's a stand and everything to hold them on here, but yeah, with these flat hands you can kind of get a... Ooh, okay, I'm just going to hold it here. Surfing Agito. Because the bike is also a hoverboard. Yeah, like I said, normally there's a Tamashi stage post in here that you can just clip them to and hold on to it, but... Yeah. Anyway, yeah, just as on the off chance you are one of the few people who, well, it wasn't that limited, but it was a web exclusive from a few years ago. So the other thing I'll note with that set is it came with a set of grippy hands for the original Agito, and those are a bit loose on this one. They won't just fall off by doing that, but if you move it around at all, it's gonna kind of flop off, so just beware. Like, if you get in a static pose, it's not going to be a huge deal, but it's not as tight as these other hands are. So he's not handless for the remainder of the video. And I don't know if they're planning on doing a new Machine Tornado or not. They did recently do a Tri-Chaser for Kuga and announced a Beat Chaser. No, I got that right. As a web exclusive. So they seem to be doing like a lot of the Showa era bikes too, so they might go back and do another Tornado. Anyway, for the last comparison, here he is next to Kuga, and as you can see, he's actually a bit taller than Kuga as well. Obviously the suit actor was the same for both shows, so he's not, but I don't know if the actor who played Shuichi is taller than Joe Odagiri. I feel really bad because I remember Joe Odagiri's name, but not Agito's. I'll have it here somewhere. But yeah, Kuga approves. I think these two look good together, and I really wish they had more of a crossover at any point, aside from Decade, just because that wasn't the real Kuga, and they were kind of made for it. In closing, if you are a Agito fan or a general rider fan who is down with collecting, middle market collectible action figures, this is more than worthy of your attention. So go for it and awaken that soul. I'll be back probably tomorrow with something Star Wars related, even though I don't know what yet. So until then, bye everybody.